We are now recording.
Alrighty. So for the benefit of San Julio.
Holo, not Julio.
I'm the great San Julio.
Recap.
Yeah, so San was distracting the local authorities for us at the space station, and he was subsequently caught up in a bit of fan mania, and an overenthusiastic fan roofied him, so he spent the rest of the adventure asleep in his bunk.
Yeah.
But during that time, we left the space station we were at, and we headed to the drop-off point with the Tanaka. We thawed him out. He wasn't very happy about the whole being stuck in stasis for a while thing.
Well, it's not really stasis. The passage of time is it's not like going to sleep. Mm-hmm. They are conscious and awake the whole time.
It's super unpleasant, as it turns out.
It's basically prison.
Yeah. And so he we went to the location, but there was some subterfuge happening, and as we made the drop, reinforcements from like every faction except the Spin showed up and started shooting
at us and each other.
At us, and actually more so at each other.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So that was a real cluster. We managed to get our Tanaka and some of the Tanakas we were making the drop with out, because there was no way we were actually gonna, be able to negotiate anything there. We still need to get paid. And when we got back to the ship, Cinny, who was with us since what's your homeworld?
Pontus 4.
Pontus 4. She made it clear that she did not want this deal to happen, and killed a few of the Tanakas before Sam caught her, asked her to stop doing that. She said no, and he spaced her.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, he's not happy about that. And that's where we are. The Tanaka said that we have 6 different planets we could go to, that he doesn't care which one's which. But now, I think we're going to have a little family meeting, shareholders meeting, to discuss our next course of action.
Don't forget that we sabotaged the hard drive that the Tanakas have with the relevant weapons material on it.
Right.
Which we did because Cindy kind of showed us the way that she had been knocking out the Tanakas by sabotaging the life support system in there.
I did that.
Oh, you did that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. You did that.
To knock out Cinny, really.
Yeah, to knock out Cinny, and then and then we realized we could do that to all the other Tanakas, which would let us find the flash drive.
All right, so Tanakas are still having a sleepy bye. They're probably not going to be happy when they wake up and found that. Oh well, they did wake up, didn't they? Did they?
Did they? I think
we had left that kind of. They were still unconscious.
They're still unconscious. I think you're just sort of.
Okay, they might not be happy when they wake up and find that there are fewer of them.
Yeah,
I mean, our principal Tanaka's fine though.
There's 6
Stumpy.
total, including that, and then 2 died. Right, so there's
2 died. I think there's
Cinny
4 left.
Cinny shot 1 and 1 didn't survive.
Right. So there's I think 4 left, including Stumpy.
I think so.
Yeah.
She killed 1 and then 2 there. 3 left in Stumpy.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we got to discuss how this is going to go down, because this is getting more and more dangerous, and there seems to be lots of folks who don't want us to make this happen. And it would be really good if we could get paid and not be in debt for the rest of our lives.
Oh, before you start your discussions, I think some things were revealed about Emra that out of character they know, but you don't know yet.
Yeah.
Well, should he know? You should probably know, right?
I mean, he would. It's probably better out of character.
Right.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, so Emra, through her father, she's not an escaped bureaucrat. She's actually a clandestine agent for the Spin government, and she gave the details of the weapon, and as well as like the entire nature of the GSS kind of plan for it, to her father to pass up the ladder to Spinward higher command. Okay. So she's given. I mean, she's obviously allied with them, but as far as the rest of the crew knows, she is like that was just a meeting with her father, and she's been, and she. After the party left, she got instructions from, agent codename Muggsy, we decided, that to stop the transaction from going on with the Tanakas, and so what she wound up doing was making it look like it was an atomized front, kind of like call-in.
So when these two went to make the drop, she actually called the atomized front to the drop. And then
Cinny called in the Star Mines, and then Warren called in the GSS. So that's why there were 3 giant factions all.
So the crew does not know about
no.
The crew doesn't know about it, and they don't know about him planning a beacon for the GSS.
So the crew's pretty much just as it was before, like.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Except now Sam's really upset about the thing with Cinny. He really wants his job over, and he really wants to get paid.
That's an interesting like development too. Is that we're actually we don't want we don't want Tanaka to get the information because that's your mission, and that's all. That would also run counter to my affiliation or alliances, but we still want to get paid for it.
Yep.
So this is why we have this like convoluted, like we gave them the data, then trashed the data to make it look like like they it's on them.
Up, yeah.
Yeah.
Though
hopefully still getting the payday. So.
Though this is narrow. So Emra is very nitpicky, and so she read her instructions to essentially be stop this transaction, which was the one that she stopped by calling in the atomized front. So as far as she's concerned, she's completed her mission. So like if it goes again down the way kind of like later, that's less of a deal for her. But she also wants the Spinward to like be more powerful than Tanaka. So it's less kind of, she has formal instructions, now we're just kind of like weighing her own ability to survive by getting more money with, what her patriotism would suggest. Okay.
So then,
Sam.
Yeah. So we all like the idea of insurance policy of put the data on the space net with instructions to automatically transmit to everybody if we don't give it failed code stop code every 24 hours or so. And we tell the Tanaka this so that they do not, murder us as soon as we give them what they want. There's a few other options we could do. Like, if we're determined to screw those guys, maybe I can scrounge up some sort of prosthetic for Tanaka, and maybe we've got the data on how to make this fancy little bioweapon. Maybe we put it inside the prosthetic.
Oh goodness!
Wow.
We are delivering the goods.
Can't you just poison them with some of your food?
That is very rude.
Just make something you don't like, then poison it.
I could never dream of doing something so underhanded. Now, back to this plan about sabotaging a prosthetic.
With the biological weapon.
With the biological weapon, yes.
Do you think we could scale it down enough to fit it inside his prosthetic?
Well, we just do a little aerosol. It sprays him, it sprays his closest clone buddies. And, they die screaming, and, maybe even everybody just assumes they got their hands on a sample as a part of the mission.
Have you renovated MedLab to the point where it's now a biological weapon production facility? Because if I remember correctly, the initial facility we took in that was developing this was rather large and slightly larger than the medical bay we have here.
Well, yeah, there would be some difficulties, you know. Maybe I get myself a little lab assistant. Somebody want to help with that?
Do we have enough things on board? Or are we picking...
Well, we've got all sorts of chemical synthesizers for the pharmacological production engine, whatever it's called. Whatever it's called, the thing that makes the medicine. From base components.
So would the idea be that we would be essentially dropping off Tanaka with this poisoned data, and he would then be patient zero for demonstrating the
first
effect
field
of
test?
the...
Yes. And wouldn't that be an interesting little opening line when we go to sell this to other people? I'm looking forward to my retirement. I don't know about you guys.
Seems more like a cautionary tale to other people.
Or more of a, wouldn't you like to have this toy?
It would certainly cover our tracks insofar as it would make it look like the Tanakas that we're dropping this off with attempted to synthesize it themselves because they don't trust their fellow Tanakis, and something went wrong, and they just lost control of it.
That means that we would also have to be sure to set them down on a Tanaka-friendly installation so as to not contaminate other areas.
Well,
yeah.
Isn't that the idea? Is that
we were throwing around other ideas to drop them off in other places.
Yeah, we had toyed with the idea of maybe super populated area, so when they murder us by shooting us in the back, there are a few witnesses.
Hold on. I have something much more important. Did anybody catch the bastard that roofied me?
Oh, we sent them a bouquet of flowers.
Poisonous flowers?
It's the regular kind.
I knew we forgot something.
Lovely. I remember that. Carry on.
I think she got in trouble with the local authorities. I think they frown on that no matter what, so...
Just wondering if any of you did anything. Clearly not.
We brought you back. You're welcome.
Thank you. Fair point.
I'll tell everybody that Warren wants to scan the unconscious Tanakas to see what kind of hardware they have on them for tracking, for communication, similar to what we did with the GSS guys to help us kind of brainstorm about what to do with these guys for drop off. So while we're talking about all this stuff, I'll run down to my security hold.
Great, roll out plus expertise.
Wasn't prepared here.
That's right. Nathan will edit this part out.
No, I won't.
Ooh, that's not good. It's probably a fail.
Yep.
5, yeah.
Yep. So what do you find?
I can assist.
Is that plus?
Well, in this case, it's the same stat, right? It's expertise.
And that increases it to a success rate.
The
partial,
next step.
Yeah.
So it increases a failure to a partial.
Depending on your roll.
Depending on my roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
Assuming that goes well.
That's a 7. But I think you have to hit it.
So yeah, that increases his, but exposes you as well.
Yeah, exposes me. So maybe when we're working on a guy, we get some relevant information, but then he wakes up.
You're sterile now from the scanning material. No, I'm just being...
Yeah. I wouldn't mind ammo much, actually.
I like that. Yeah, sure. So, first tell me what you find in your scan. So you're successful in finding what you find. What do you find?
An internal communication system between all the Tanaka clones.
All the Tanaka clones? Like Borg thing going on? Or just the ones that are here?
It's located to a region. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
So it has a range.
Right.
Okay. Can you tell
Or maybe
me
a programmable hierarchy or something like that.
Well, I would imagine that'd be the sort of thing they'd want to turn off so that they could keep their own internal, shenanigans to themselves.
Yeah,
and
it's not monitoring, but they can cast communication.
It's like IM. It's IM.
Yeah, like an IM within their within their
clone
tier
messaging.
Hey, Tanaka Stud 69.
Because they're like all named that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Tanaka, Tanaka Stud 69-1, Tanaka Stud 69-2.
And so I'm trying to think whether or not. I guess not. I mean, because we had established before that there are a ton of Tanaka clones, right?
Millions.
All of the Tanakas are clones, so yes,
Okay.
there are.
So I guess tracking devices wouldn't make sense. So because yeah, I'm good with that then. Just that's all I found then is just internal communication network.
What are you doing?
Scanning to see if you're okay, Bluff.
Well, clearly I'm okay. What are you doing?
I'm assisting him in making sure that you're okay.
What am I doing here?
We found you unconscious. There was a saboteur on board. And what happened was that she strategically dropped off or disabled the life support in your quarters. And that's why you fell unconscious. Thankfully, we were able to eliminate her. And now we are making sure that you and your ilk are all in sound health.
Does anything hurt? We have a doctor on board.
Bluff.
Hey! Them's fighting words.
I've seen your doctor. I'm fine. Who is this saboteur?
I didn't terribly know her well, but if you wish to ask Chef Sam about it, I'm sure he can provide you more information.
Ah, yes, the doctor. Please bring him here.
Well, if you're in sound health, there's no reason you can't go visit him.
We have to attend to the other Tanaka and ensure that they're in as good functioning order as you.
Unless you wish otherwise.
It's fine.
Step out.
Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna go seek you out.
Okay.
He's gonna ask you about the saboteur.
So is this Stumpy or
No, it's
just
not.
one of the other ones?
Sorry, Lord.
It's Section Tanaka 69C.
So he's just asking me about the saboteur?
Yes. What can you tell me about this saboteur?
Well, she was affiliated with the Star Mines and was responsible for calling down the wave of starfighters, not any of the cruisers. I asked her why she would do such a thing, and she said she was dead set on preventing our transaction from taking place. I asked her to change her mind, and she refused, so she is dead now.
How'd she die?
Airlock.
By your hands?
Yes. We are not discussing this anymore.
Acceptable. I'm assuming you're going to go help with the others. Being a doctor.
If my services are needed, they will call.
He just sticks his nose up and walks out of it. So, what are you guys, what's your plan? Where are you going and...
So we want to find the Tanaka outpost option that's most isolated for our little chemical weapons test.
Isolated from...
General
Like-
populations.
Okay.
So, like, not a lot of traffic going in and out. You know, maybe like an asteroid installation.
So
sort of thing.
all these options they gave you were sort of within the Tanaka
Sphere of influence?
section of space that they have hold over, and they're all pretty major Tanaka planets that aren't really responsible for manufacturing. They're more administrative worlds. But there's a couple that are sort of off common trade routes as far as jumps go.
Yep.
So you could pick one of those if you want.
Yeah, I think that's the direction we want to go in.
Okay.
And we're gonna... So I guess at this point I have to see if I can actually whip up, this little
So your
parting
plan,
gift.
So your plan is
Poisonous food, so much easier.
So, the Tanakas, you're going to go down to the planet, right? And then there will be a, you have my data, very good, thank you, here's your payment, blah, 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 and then you leave.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, there is a prosthetic hand that has an aerosol of the biological weapon
Yes.
that you procured off
The GSS.
the GSS.
The GSS developed to frame the atomized front.
And then you're going to use that and you're going to produce enough just to, or we're talking about like a citywide epidemic, or just like in the room, or...
I don't
we
think
wanted
we
to
have
make-
enough capability to do a citywide.
I think we want to keep it as localized as possible.
Okay.
We just want to make it
Like-
look like they tried to put it together and they messed up.
Should nothing go wrong with this.
It's basically Chernobyl, but you know.
So this weapon,
That's me.
like as you know, right, is designed for a planet-wide or station-wide paranoia, right,
Mhm.
about like impending doom attack,
Yep.
right? So if you let this thing go within a group of Tanaka, how they're not how are they gonna react?
Well, so,
They're all ready to... All those guys are always ready to knife each other in the back anyway. They're
Okay,
paranoid by default.
So that kind of So I'm going to make because we haven't really established anything about the nature of like the weapon itself, kind of. I'm going to suggest that one of the because this weapon is designed to inflict terror, that there's a delayed onset. The idea being that you need people to think that they couldn't just lock it down immediately, that it spread before the panic starts. Does that make sense?
So it could end up affecting most of the planet.
Well,
It's terrible.
I'm just trying to
For
think about
those
like
guys.
the logical
Right,
extension.
yeah.
I mean, but that's kind of
That sounds terrifying. Yeah. That's,
well. Thank you.
yeah.
By design.
Yeah. Right.
So when you guys first grabbed this data and you had a look over it, was this still in? Have they tested this yet? Did you know that?
I think they were developing the first prototypes, like that lab
So
that
it
we were at.
hasn't been like they haven't actually tested it on a population yet.
Right. So think like the Genesis device in Star Trek
Yeah,
2, right?
yeah.
So like there's like maybe they were just about to develop a prototype before but they had hard deadlines, and so they were kind of cutting corners a bit. So like they didn't have a fully steepling fingers, thank you. So like they didn't have everything like fully figured out. So like there was maybe like the most recent notes that they have are like the design is that there's a a long onset, but the current the most up to date stuff we have maybe there's only like an hour or 2 hours before symptoms start showing up.
Okay.
The animal testing. Yeah.
So then that's that part. So, but then you're also going to tell them that I'm going to depart safely, or
That's a backup.
we're gonna to use it as a backup.
Yeah,
right?
we need to
tell
tell
them
no,
in
you're
advance,
right. You're right.
So we don't get killed.
So you're gonna tell them that you have this stored away in some archival data system that's going to broadcast to every
If
faction.
we don't provide
if you don't get out of there. Okay.
the dead man.
Did I miss anything else? So
We've
you're
gotten really paranoid really quickly.
So how long? So did you pick up one of those couple planets to go
Yeah,
to?
yeah, we're picking one of
What's
those.
the name of it? So I can write it down. Refer to it.
Aphis 3?
Aphis.
Aphis.
Roger. Aphis with a PH.
Yes, with a PH, of course.
Come on, Chris. Jeez.
With an F, like some kind of pleb planet.
Aphis. Oh, okay. How long does it take to get there? As long as it takes to develop a weapon of mass destruction and...
Y'all, there was a problem with the warp drive,
Okay, so I'm going to make use of my new navigator
Okay.
skill, And because of the fact that I want Sam to have as much time as possible to develop this thing, I'm not going to choose fast, which you probably otherwise. But there is an option for profitable. If you deliver the passengers who are asking for passage, which we're doing.
Yes.
So that is what I'm choosing.
Okay.
So the look on your face suggests, how does that manifest?
So you are already being paid double to bring these Tanaka to safety after their little mining asteroid got demolished. So now because of your thing, it's now additionally profitable on top of the profit?
Yes.
Okay.
So can I just... I mean, you can interpret this any way you want.
What do you want?
Can I suggest... So, the Tanaka have been using... What did we call their IM service?
CM.
CM. They've been using
Clone
their
messaging.
CM, and Stumpy has been bad-mouthing us on CM the entire time. I don't know if you need to get access or anything like that. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter. But, so he's been bad-mouthing us the entire time, talking about how terrible we are and how, wretched we've been and
we
how
have to kill
bitter
these
he
sons
is.
of bitches when
Yeah,
we get
exactly.
to Tanaka.
And so,
well, we're gonna have to roll
but
for that.
this, but since all that the others have seen since then, or that we have extracted them, and we've dealt with a saboteur, who is obviously dangerous, that one or two of the others thinks to themselves, well, maybe I can get these guys on my side if I bribe them to get them away from Stumpy, because these are Tanaka, and they're cutthroats.
Sure.
And so maybe, Tanaka Sexy 69B
Yes.
thinks to himself, these guys are what's kind of like an asymmetric asset. Like someone I can use for my special little missions.
Sure.
So he comes to us and, kind of suggests or, entices us with the promise of more payment if we do something for him.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. For that to manifest itself, roll plus interface, and we're going to sort of rewind a little bit to where you were going over the unconscious and see if you have access to, and you can help with at the same time.
Won't need it. Yeah.
Oh.
13.
Oh, 13. Yeah. So yeah, you have what he says. You have access to their. You set it up to your data pad so that they beep, beep,
It
beep,
shunts all
beep,
traffic.
beep. Yeah. you can see what they're saying to each other. So, okay.
As soon as we, as a quick aside, but it's relative to my character, or related to my character. So as soon as we are out of that region of space where we dumped Cinny, I'm gonna remotely. Report to GSS that their high target person that they were looking for is located in this region and they've been eliminated. And I can put if I have an operating
Do you get
tag
a commission
or
bonus?
something like that.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to win myself back in good graces with GSS because I've got a lot of debt with them and I don't want them to start to be why the hell are we keeping this guy alive anyways? So this is my breadcrumb to them, or my olive branch or whatever. So,
all right.
As soon as we're out of that location. So.
Okay. So I'm trying to think. So while you did that afterwards, would there be any reason for you to have picked up on outgoing messages, encrypted and deleted and otherwise?
No, Emra's piloting the ship at this point.
Okay.
And I don't think she has any reason to suspect that the remaining members of the crew have been targeting surveillance or anything like that.
Sure.
So I don't think that would naturally be on her radar. Maybe it's on Kronos, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
And you have such a hold over the ship systems at this point that
Yeah, I don't
I
think.
picked up hijack too as my last skill, so it can lock other people out and only allow access to.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a quick question on, because I picked up leadership last time, which gives me a class 3 crew.
Whoa!
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay.
How many are in that crew?
So, how many are there?
I wasn't sure if there was a
3 Tanakas plus Stumpy, right? No,
Yeah, right. So, okay, when you were at the last station you guys were at,
that's awesome.
The groupies.
the groupies. I mean, they have day jobs. You know? So, how many came with you?
I'd say maybe 3 or 4 probably.
Okay. So, what's their role on the ship?
I'd probably say they're probably all.
So there's tags for crew, right?
I haven't even looked at
Okay.
that part.
So broadly,
Yeah.
what's their job on the ship?
I would probably say kind of just support. Like they're all good at a little bit, but not great at anything.
Okay.
Without a little more training, so
All right. So
somebody would probably be with them, kind of helping and things like that. The more time they spend, they would get better at it.
All right.
Somebody kind of following Sam and helping Sam what he's doing and things like that.
We all have lackeys, is what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're under my command, of course. But.
excellent. Very
I'll try
good.
to patch if you're willing
Yeah.
to allow to have them like patched in to have me like track them and monitor them and be
Yeah.
able to communicate with them.
Yep.
Then I can do that to
Okay.
like be in close communication.
Yep.
I can't remember what network. Yeah. And that way we can try to like get them throughout the ship if comms go out and stuff like that.
Sweet.
I'm trying to look up the tags, but
Huey,
So
my
are
PDF
they
is not so-
Duke,
Huey, Duke, and
Bando.
Huey, Duke, and Bando? Okay.
Sticking with my theme.
Huey, Duke.
Do they repair holes in holes of the space stations?
So they are
I'd probably say one of them would probably at least be a scrapper.
okay.
A scrapper would definitely be a follower of.
It's not going to look
Son.
pretty.
No, it's not going to be pretty, of course, but they can do it.
It's just
pulling panels off of the smaller
Yeah,
shapes
right,
that
exactly
we
right.
had and like welding it on, you know.
Welding in like crooked lines, like there.
oh yeah.
Just the hole's much smaller now. Yeah.
Since Emma's usually in the engineering bay when she's not piloting, I guess I'll take Duke
Looks like Duke. Okay.
for.
I have Huey. Huey stays with me.
Sounds good. So what are you doing right now?
Still recovering from my roofie right now.
All right. Alrighty.
Kind of just catching up, recovering from the roofie.
Okay. All
Still
right.
wondering why Sam isn't going to poison somebody instead of.
You got to get fancy here. Come on.
So how long is it going to take to get to APHIS 3? So basically, how long do you need to do what you do? And are
How long
they
is it gonna take to build the
going
build
to?
thing?
I'm assuming the interface people are going to set up the
Prosthetic?
no, not the prosthetic, but the your backup to get out of there,
Yeah.
right?
I thought we did that already.
Delay kill man switch. We talked about it. I don't know. If
No,
we
you didn't. You didn't
roll
Oh,
anything
fair
or
enough.
anything. But
do anything to
Oh,
set
yeah.
it up, or where you're going to set it up from, or what system you're going to hack into to do it.
I thought we did it the last refueling. Oh yeah, we said we were going to take a more isolated route, so we could stop by a refueling station and park it into the public net there.
Okay, so you need a refuel underway.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's that? Pilot. Where are you going?
No, damn it, where's Kyra?
Oh, you got volunteer for the pilot this time? Excellent.
Well, I was kind of co-piloting for a while, and then
Yeah.
Kyra dropped.
Well, I was piloting
Out of existence?
the last time
Yeah.
I was there, and then you just
Yeah.
took
He
it.
got roofied. He's not in
Excellent.
a
Yeah,
shape
I'm
to
not
do that.
driving.
Do not operate heavy machinery for at least the next 48 hours.
We're going to Thank you. Yeah, we're
you
going.
don't feel obligated to use it.
No. I like this. No, we're going to. We're going to. Terminus Station.
Terminus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
And how long does it take?
That's probably about 3 days to get there.
Yeah, that's it. 3 days.
And then from Terminus to
And then we have like 18 hours to refuel, something like that.
Terminus to APHIS.
Another day and a half.
Okay.
Unless I need more time, in which case longer.
The scenic route.
Oh no, the warp drive.
To be fair, it wouldn't be too much of a fib.
No, it really wouldn't.
One of my crew can screw it up somehow.
Well, no, the idea is we don't screw it up.
Not screw it
we
up.
just tell them.
Alrighty, so you are on your way to Terminus to refuel. Are you actually refueling, or are you just saying that you're refueling?
We should top it off a little bit, you know.
Okay.
We don't know how far we're going to be chased out of here, so
And
we
we
should.
make it without any problems.
Say again?
We make it without
Don't
any
jinx it.
problems.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, yeah. So you get to the Taka homeworld, and you make your drop, and everything's good, and that's it.
Game over. Good game, guys. Good game, guys.
Our first actual payoff.
And they don't pay you. The account's empty. I'm just kidding. All right. So you make it to Terminus Station. Who's in charge of Terminus? Have you been there before? Any of you?
I haven't.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Just the place we picked on the map, I guess.
Yep.
All right. So you arrive, sort of outside their perimeter as you approach, and you bring them up on comms, and they say, "State your business here."
Refueling
Refueling what?
a ship.
No shit. What kind of fuel do you need?
Standard grade leaded.
Let it.
Nice.
In space, the EPA can't hear you scream.
You got credits?
One of our passengers is paying our way. Business expenses and such.
Yeah, he puts it on the corporate card.
All right. I'll need the account before you dock.
All right. I'm gonna head down and see the Tanakas and let them know that as part of a legitimate expense, we need them to pay to refuel our station.
Hey, one of them, raises an eyebrow at you, but he gives you his information.
The T card.
Yeah, there you go. His Charlie card. Here you go.
Yeah, Charlie card.
Well, I meant T for Tanaka, but that works too.
Yeah, that works.
They have their own banking system.
Yeah, there you go.
Tanaka credits. Pay everyone in script.
So you transferred out. Oh, you're good. Docking station 4.
Thank you, and I'll dock the ship.
Okay. So you've arrived. It's not the neatest place you've been to. It's dark, stingy, and gross. What are you going to do to pass the time?
Well, we need to set up the dead man switch in the space net.
All right. So you have access to the space net already. That's where you get your news, your information, whatever. So where are you going to hack into to do this?
I mean, assume because it's dark and dingy, there are plenty of interface terminals that when this station was new, they were probably in more highly trafficked areas. But now that hard times with the war and all,
Wars.
yeah, and things have kind of fallen off the wayside a bit. So it's what was a highly trafficked corridor is now basically barren.
Okay. So to broadcast this space news everywhere, right? There's basically communication hubs, like massive arrays for subspace communications. You're going to need to hack into one of those to drop your packet of information in.
Emma returns to Warren.
Can't stop the signal. So, how many of them are there on the terminus station?
There's none at the station itself.
Oh, okay.
Right? So using the space net,
I see.
right, you can hack your way into one of these that are sort of, there's one in the system, and there's one in the system, near you, where, the range is better, but there's thousands of these throughout the
Okay.
I don't know if it was we were physically going to need to infiltrate a space.
No, physically,
but
no. You would have to hack in.
That's probably better.
Yeah.
Our record hasn't been good with like physically infiltrating places. But, okay.
If you get in, if you get out, there's just not a lot left afterwards.
So, to do your hacking, let's do first roll plus interface to gain access to this, and then roll plus expertise to drop your data package in.
Want to assist?
Yep.
10, 12 for the interface.
So you have access to one of these communication hubs.
No problem. These guys, child's play.
Okay, I guess I'll be rolling the expertise.
Okay.
That's 10.
Well, holy
You
shit.
too.
So you guys, you just...
An actual apparent success for
What
once.
are we gonna do for with the rest of the day?
I know, right?
We're gonna check out local food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you
We'll
got
get some
like
shawarma.
17 hours and 56 minutes left. Nice. So, yeah, you guys are successful. You place the...
Now you guys are out, can you buy a shitty hand? With a lot of space inside of it?
Human or
But I mean mechanical, prosthetic.
yeah. Oh, okay. That should be more legal.
You don't want too shitty. Fall apart and
so
go off somewhere.
Well, I want the Tanaka to believe that I found that under a locker or something.
Yeah, the medical facilities at this place are not...
Meatball.
It's a guy with an apron and a couple of lockers in the back.
Perfect, my kind of guy.
Why does Doc have quotation marks around it? On his name
Call
tag.
your sign guy. It's not doing you any favors, man.
So what's Sam up to?
Sam is cooking up a deadly pathogen here. Well,
Okay.
not deadly, but dangerous bioweapon type thing. So he's got the data for how it all comes together, but there isn't. He knows what the final product looks like, but he doesn't know. There's no manufacturing process outlined yet
Sure.
in any of the instructions. They didn't get that far.
Okay.
So he's got to cook up a bunch of different batches and then check on them to see if they match what he's trying to make.
Mhm.
So he's having to iterate a lot to find something that works.
All right. So you have the equipment on board to synthesize these batches already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I probably if I was missing some key component, this would be a good time to go get it. But I mean, the equipment I've got can basically synthesize any known drugs once you pay a licensing fee.
Mhm.
But if you jailbreak the motherfucker,
Right.
you can basically cook up whatever you want.
Sure. All right.
The Space Anarchist Cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I mean with the 18 hours you have to refuel, it's going to take you some time, and that whole time at the station is spent sort of synthesizing these variations of the final product,
Mm-hmm.
and you're still at work, sort of determining which one is the correct combination of compounds.
Yep.
Son, what are you up to?
I'm actually kind of just talking with my crew, just kind of building some morale, and kind of just letting them know kind of what's going on.
Alright, you look this shit up.
I gave him the
Yeah,
list
so
of
I'm
tags.
gonna do. I'm writing them down now, but I'm gonna do for the crew design. It's gonna be squad. So
Okay.
discipline and
Which
salt.
page is that?
126.
Okay.
So squads they're fighters. First
Yeah,
and
that's like a
foremost.
fighter.
Yeah,
squad,
so I
right?
can choose squad, tech, gang, or staff.
Right.
I figure we have enough techs on board.
Do we? Well, with
well,
them.
With them,
Yeah,
yeah.
But ours are more like interface or like repair. Is
Well, yeah. So mine is my strong skill is expertise, but she's engineering kind of oriented. So
is there what's the skill for repair? Because repair and medical are kind of the same skill in this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So okay.
so it's expertise.
that is expertise. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we. You know
Expertise
what?
just
Actually,
isn't,
given
Sam's highest skill.
actually, honestly, given how hard, like how many times we've been arrayed against, massive armed forces that severely outnumber us, a squad may not be a bad idea. I mean, obviously it's
few
completely
extra
up to Sam,
shooters.
but like I can actually totally see a bunch of groupies who are so devoted to the cult of San Holo that they would literally die for him. So I think that actually makes perfect sense.
But I think it's awkward because they all dress like him. And they all want to use weapons like what he used in the movies.
Yeah.
Some of like 3D printed like guns.
Yeah. Like it's just a regular laser pistol, but it's all dolled up.
So when I take medics, I get to choose 3 because it's class 3, so I'm going to choose medics for one of them.
Okay.
What you need that for?
Just in case we need it. They're all able to provide long-term convalescent care or assist in medical procedures.
Oh.
Stealthy is the second one, so they're all able to sneak into and out of places
Oh, nice.
So
and,
they
pass unnoticed.
Mm-hmm.
They can do quadruple bypass surgery on you. You wouldn't even know it.
And I'm going to pick the last one because I'm assuming we'll need a drink break.
Dr. Shinobi.
I feel like
Ninja
Sam would
MD.
pick beautiful.
What's the last one?
I'm looking at it right now.
So what were the tags you picked, Matt?
Probably write that down.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm writing it down now. Stealthy.
Oh, yeah, you write it down, and I'll just remind me.
Yeah, stealthy, loyal, and stealthy, loyal, and medics.
Little Faith.
That's I don't know. The medics one is one I'm kind of like I don't know on.
Maybe go with like beautiful or entertaining because they are your groupies.
True, and you can heal, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying it just for healing purposes. Like,
Yeah.
if we get in trouble,
No,
to have 3 other crew members that can heal. But
Do it for fun.
Well, it's not like, the Division where you just drop this green shit on the floor and you're
no,
all
I know
better.
that.
It takes a couple days, depending on the severity of the injury.
They
Yeah, I
keep
guess-
you from bleeding to death.
huh?
They can
True.
keep
Yeah.
you from bleeding to death.
Why not just like numerous? Just give us a big squad. So we can
He
actually.
doesn't want numerous. He wants it small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sam would
Yeah.
want more of a smaller crew. He
That's
doesn't
true.
want too much.
What
Oh,
about
yeah.
informants then?
Huh?
Informants. A bit able to collect information.
I thought about that because I felt like that would have been good with stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like beautiful better though.
Okay. It's your call.
Yeah.
We'll just
Hold on a sec. Oh. Oh, well.
Uncharted World's the crunching. And that's a squad.
So a squad is disciplined and solid, equipped with a similar type of weaponry, so blasters, able to guard areas and engage in small-scale combat.
Cool.
Nice.
Did the dead Tanaka have any weapons on him?
No.
Sam will always scavenge on that. That's one of his moves. So
Scavenge?
Yeah, he can take anything from any dead soldiers or anything. Like
anything.
That. Pretty much anything.
Son, where did you go on all these mismatched underpants? I can't help it. I've got a problem.
I'd probably harvest a hand from the Tanaka, though. I don't know if that...
Well, we want a prosthetic that we
Yeah.
could put a.
Yeah, that would
I
defeat
think
purpose.
when I was
You're
at
right, you're right.
Emra's mother's house, I must have taken some
Oh,
of her
no.
father's.
Those aren't fathers.
Could have been someone else's mother then, or father, whatever.
I really don't want to hear
I think she just called him daddy.
All right. So with that, I mean, nothing else.
I'm just gonna try and contact Agent Muggsy or his equivalent while she's here. Oh wait, no, this is not a spin word.
This is not.
Okay.
So who is it controlled by?
Yeah, that was going to accept.
What?
I was going to ask that too.
I was just going to say it's unaffiliated.
Just a rando.
Well, you
I
know,
think
just-
they have to be friendly with the Tanaka, considering how close they are.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is that if we're within kind of the Tanaka sphere of space, then
Sure. And your form of payment was recognized.
yes.
So. Well. Yeah. Well, we'll say I don't know how does payment work? Is that separate through faction, or sort of does it intermingle, or is there one universal form of payment throughout? Is it just like credits? And
I think credits is a good shorthand for
Okay.
liquid wealth.
Sure.
I mean, we
Like
don't want to. Even I don't want to get into exchange rates.
Sure.
I'm positive.
Okay.
I hate taking international finance.
But what about like in regions too, like having a universally accepted credit, but also within certain regions something is valued more. Like
Well, yeah,
local
that's the
currencies.
mechanic of
like
cargo. That's,
Yeah.
Like in the game
oh,
itself,
yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
So like if you picked up cargo in this system and bring it over to this system,
Right.
it's going to be worth more.
Right. That
Yeah, I
makes
think
sense.
if we
Distance
were doing
bonus.
if we were doing a job where we weren't being like hunted as we went and constantly on the run,
What
like,
kind of
it'd
job
be-
is that?
Yeah, not the kind that we get apparently.
Sounds boring. Yeah.
I mean,
then,
you
yeah,
could always,
that'd
you
be
could
a
always
good way
pick up a job like that here, on top of the one you're on already.
We'll check the wanted boards. Is there an equivalent?
Yeah, well, at the terminal that you guys
Yeah.
are standing at, I mean, you peruse because you have all
Well,
the time in the world. So.
We'll download the classified section.
Okay. Sounds
So that
good.
way, when and if we survive this,
Mhm.
we'll be able to find a new job relatively quickly.
I'll, on my personal data pad where Emra's not watching, I can check GSS threads too, like the general access GSS, like wanted's classified,
Mhm.
you know, to see what's up.
So
Josh, could you do me a favor on the dock? Could you just
So right in the middle of his
format
work,
it so
Sam's
it's
gonna look
wrap
up
text
all of a
instead
sudden and
I
say,
can't do it from my
"Oh,
phone.
Scheisse! We forgot about George." The
Where is he?
The
Yeah.
G,
Oh, that's right.
GSS
Oh.
guy.
yeah,
So Sam's gonna run down, thaw him out, and say, "Here you go, George. You're free."
what happened?
Well, it was a very exciting journey, and there was lots of shooting, and now we've gotten well away from the GSS. We are on the fringes of Tanaka space, so you can, but not Tanaka facility, so you can sort of hitch a ride to anywhere you want from here.
I mean, I guess. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was the deal. You told us what you knew, and we get you out. So
Well-
we just want to make sure we hold up our end of the deal.
I mean, sounds good. You have any? Could I borrow some credits from you?
What the hell?
Yeah, here, this should let you stay a week. So Sam's gonna give him a little bit of money.
Okay. Yeah, he takes the opportunity to get the fuck off your ship.
Yeah.
Probably improved his life expectancy by a few years.
Well, considering the option was I killed him. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you have the opportunity to come back and take a job if you want. Otherwise, you're going to be on your way to Ephus Tree. You said 3 days. Is that
No, we
right?
said it's been 3 days. We spent 18 hours refueling, and then maybe a day and a half to get to Aphis.
Okay. So let's why not? Let's do a cramped quarters.
Okay.
Since we got 4 of us here, so.
Alright,
how things go.
I'll go first.
Because that's fun.
See, I think Sam's gonna try and cozy up with the Tanaka a little bit because he's
Which one? The,
Stumpy, our primary employer, because he hasn't been super happy with us, so gonna just try and make a good impression there.
Whew. What is that?
Chip cherry.
God damn it.
Oh,
It's a
dear.
5.
Oh,
Man, I'm doing
no.
awful in these rolls.
Why do you keep talking to me?
Well, you know, I was
I
just...
thought I told you the first time. Shut the fuck up.
You know, that's just hurtful, and, you know, I was all set to give you a new hand, but maybe you don't get it now, huh?
That would be fantastic. I don't want you anywhere near me for the rest of the trip. You're worthless. You can't do anything right.
Oh my gosh.
Just stay out of my way, please.
You know, I think I'll do that.
Let me go get you some
Thank
food.
you.
So,
Good job.
Oops.
so at this point, maybe one of the other Tanakas wants to be the one to bring in this big fish and take credit for this job.
Well,
That was
yeah,
that was
that
kind of
goes
like the
into-
subtext. So maybe this actually is how that ties in, is that to the profitable navigation dealy. So like Stumpy is this is what kind of facilitates
Yeah.
his like mouthing off on the clone net,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when kind of Tanaka B, I'm sorry, sexy Tanaka 69B.
We can't keep calling him that.
Yes, you can.
But what if I don't want to?
You don't have to.
STB.
Yeah.
STB.
STB. STB3.
STB.
Okay, I'll
Well, like STD. Jesus.
I'll
Flashing back to video footage of.
I'll go next, and I'll say this is a tricky one. You know what? I'll say with San, because I don't think I've actually done one
I
with
was
San.
actually going to do one with you, so that's actually funny.
Oh wow, man! I wish I'd used that roll elsewhere. 12.
Now describe how the two of you bonded over the past few days.
I didn't foresee this. Wow, this is trickier than I would have expected.
I would say probably San firstly apologize for all the mother stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, no. That's I think. Oh, yeah. I think that's a great,
Yeah.
great prompt there. Okay, so, San, I didn't
Cherry
mean
Pepsi.
to impose my personal experience on you. You and Mother are both adults, and Father, obviously. That sort of interaction has never been a problem for him, and I'm happy that you two have found a connection in this otherwise dark loneliness existence.
I appreciate that. I will do my best not to bring it up as much. I know it's a sore subject for you, and I will do my best. I can't promise it won't come out here and there, but I will do my best to leave it alone and not talk about it. Your mother is a splendid person, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and you are very lucky to have her as a mother.
Thank you. I think you now have a better sense of why I have grown up with and continually use very, very, very insulated headphones
Yes,
every night going
yes,
to bed.
I
Yes,
can-
that
I can-
was something I discovered I needed
It's
very
smart,
early at a very early age.
Smart kid. Good.
I like that one.
Alright. What are you doing?
So it has to be somebody here, like an actual person.
A
Or
character or
an
NPC trapped here with you.
My mom is on the way to Iceland.
Ooh.
She's on the plane.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Going to Reykjavik.
You're gonna go to that pool.
She is.
Yeah.
Yep.
The hot springs.
Yep. Tomorrow.
Nice.
Yep.
The pictures don't do it justice.
And then
That's
she's
the
on her
opposite.
way on a boat, and then she's going to some like ice cave hotel place, and then
Oh, cool.
she's basically a boat all the way around. So
Nice.
Nice.
2 weeks.
I'm trying to figure out like angles. I'll try to connect with the Tanaka too.
Which one?
Which one?
Not Stumpy, just another like rando Tanaka.
A, B, or C?
C. Let's say
STD or
STD.
STB.
ST.
yeah.
STC.
STC.
Yeah.
Ecstasy.
Oh. So it's just a straight roll.
Yep.
That's his screen name.
Yeah.
8.
So, reveal, discover the answer to their question about an aspect of yourself or your past.
So I have to ask a question and then he reveals
Or
it?
no, he would.
If you would ask a question, you have to reveal
Okay.
it.
So, I don't really know much about you, but how much do you favor the Tanaka?
I'm grateful for your business and I hope to work with you in the future.
Well, that's very good to hear. Because I was wondering, this deal you have with Tanaka.
This one.
Yes, that one. What would you say to working something out with me? We could cut him out.
Of the current deal?
Of some mortal
Existence.
Yeah. I couldn't speak for the entirety of the crew, but 99% of this job is finished. I mean, we've done all of the heavy lifting. We've delivered the goods. We've, brought you off the mining facility. We're at the 11th hour of this mission already. So I'm a little bit curious about what you had in mind.
Let's just say our friend has a unfortunate accident on the way there. And when we do get there, I'm the one that sealed the deal.
I can see the obvious benefit for you, but that would incur increased risk for us.
I see your point, and that's where we could renegotiate the original deal.
We
If
have
you're up for that.
We have about a half day left in our journey, and I'll need to talk. I'll need to talk with other members of the crew before I can commit us to anything.
Okay, you look pretty trustworthy, so
Thanks.
I'll await your answer.
I'll leave. Tell him thanks, and we'll let him know, and then leave, and then watch the clone net correspondence to see if he's tipping his hat to other Tanaka.
The Tanaka B. Yeah, that one. Whatever
So
we
they're
call them.
discussing it?
Sexy, whatever his name is. Yeah.
So B and
Sexy
C.
Tanaka
So-
69. Come on, this is that hard.
I'm sorry.
It was actually Tanaka Stud, but
Oh,
69,
excuse me.
yeah.
See. So,
Zing.
so on a private, between the two, they discussed that he made the proposition to you.
And is there any like crosstalk between them, or between like okay, let me know what happens, or
Yeah, pretty much. Just
okay.
yeah. No, we're waiting answer sort of thing.
So I can send out a message. So we never established this before, but I have the network skill. So I could send correspondence to you guys. We hadn't established it beforehand, so it would be like retroactive to go back and do that now. But otherwise,
You
we
forgot about
should
it.
do that in the future. just for situations like this if we need to talk without other people on board hearing it.
So
But
we have a secure, like, our own, like,
Right.
clone net thing?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but we can call. I can call to each of your locations wherever you guys are, and ask if you guys can come up to the bridge, and that way we can talk in person about the.
Emma's already there. She's piloting.
Okay.
Did Matt get to do his?
No, not yet.
I think I'm gonna go with Warren just because Warren is one of the newer members, and Son hasn't really had much of a chance to interact with him too much. Nah,
7.
It's a 7.
7. Reveal, discover the answer to their question about an aspect of yourself or your past. So you can ask him a question about himself, his past.
I thought it was the other way.
What?
It
No.
says reveal something.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
has to ask
he-
the question.
he
I have to
reveals-
reveal it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He answered.
Okay.
So he
Yeah,
asked.
because it was his role.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the idea.
Yep.
Son, it seems like you were at the top of your game when you got out of the business. You were the king. Like, it's hard to see why you would, change things up. This is certain. Is this the life that you were going for? What led you to other career choices?
That's a tough question. See, I was at the top of my game. I had everyone aspiring to be me and wanting to be with me, and countless ladies. But I think
Such humility.
the draw of that kind of wore off a bit. I actually missed doing the actual work. Doing what I was doing, it was more of a show than actually doing stuff. And I feel like I just missed that a bit. Getting down and dirty, so to speak. Not the way you're thinking, but doing jobs and shooting people and it was something I missed. I had done a little bits when I was younger, and it's as I've gotten older, it's just it's something I want to cross off on my list of things to accomplish in my life, is not just to be famed, but also to be accomplished in other things I've done. So kill more people
On your bucket list, yeah.
on bucket list. 100 people. I'm at 5 right now. I have another
Fuck.
95 to go, but I have a crew now, so they'll be able to help.
Chief
So those
of the
count.
Hawk.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Each of them owe me 100 Nazi scabs.
I'm not gonna lie. One of the reasons that there was definitely some allure appeal, to you being here that encouraged me to come on.
Have you seen the movies?
Multiple times.
I've run into a few people that haven't, disappointingly, but it's good. Did
They
you
mu-
like them?
They must be on the rim planet. So those.
We don't pay much attention to them anymore. Did you like them? They're good movies.
Yeah, I watched them. Key points of my life. They had a formative experience on me as a boy.
Excellent. Glad the movies could play good parts in your life. And it's good to know we haven't gotten on each other's nerves yet, because that's Emra. We're getting better, but boy, she got on my nerves so much in the beginning. How's it been with her?
Touch and go.
That's about right. That's about right.
I touch something of hers, and she yells at me to go.
Nice, good save.
Alright.
Sweet.
All right, so we're going up
So,
to
yeah,
discuss
you wanna bridge?
an exciting new business opportunity.
Yep.
Before we get started, I have some very bad news. The plan's hit a snag, and the Stumpy's not going to let me put a hand on him. In more ways than one. So.
Does that mean the food plan can come back?
No.
Could do deviled eggs.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. We'll just poison the deviled eggs and we'll cram them in their mouths forcefully.
Who doesn't love deviled eggs?
It's the GSS, apparently.
Wait, they're not. How do you know that?
Remember when they boarded us and I made those lovely deviled
Oh,
eggs?
that's right.
Stupid roaches. They don't appreciate nice, fine cuisine. Anyway, so we need to figure out something else because we're not gonna sneak that one in.
We don't have a plan for distribution of the bioweapon, but an interesting prospect has opened up, has presented itself. Tanaka C has offered to take the glory in returning the information, returning the data from our previous Tanaka employer. In turn for meeting his demise, he's offered us a bargaining chip for a more lucrative offer.
That sounds excellent.
Little too convenient, though.
I've been piloting quite well. I'm sure they're pleased with
Yes.
that.
So no, this would be a nice opportunity. You know, to kill that smug asshole. Anyway, dibs, by the way, dibs.
Let's go in a partnership at least. And let's go on a partnership at least.
Okay, I can have backup.
No,
That's okay.
I think I can speak for certainly Kona and myself here. That's right. That we're certainly on board with this, but I think the question then still remains: how exactly do we? What is the means by which we convey this aerosol?
Right.
Yeah, that one's going to be tricky.
Do
we still have?
Do we code it on the drive, and when they attempt to access it, it releases?
I think we would have to put it inside. If it's just an external coating, they could be exposed to it at almost any time.
We could have a backup. So an original hiccup in our plan was that they would discover that they're carrying around a paperweight at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If they discover that the data is not good, we could offer a replacement. I mean, that's a contingency that might not play out if they don't discover that it's the data's been corrupted or whatever. So that we could have a replacement hard drive. We could have a replacement hard drive that we could give them, and then in the replacement hard drive there could be an aerosol container, and we could instigate, checking the data to make sure that it's, and then saying like, and discovering that it's been encrypted.
Where's the where is that hard drive that we had prepped for them that was sabotaged?
I thought we
They
placed
have
it
it.
back on them
Yeah,
when they were still
it's
unconscious.
back on one of the
So
Tanaka.
actually, yeah. So we can't do anything
Okay.
with it now because then.
Well,
So-
no,
Because if
we
it
could-
found its way into Stumpy's hands and
So
then
we
we
have
threw
Stumpy,
him off the
we
ship.
have A, we have
Then-
B, and we have C, right?
Yes.
So C and B are colluding together to get rid of Stumpy.
Yes.
A is not in with B and C.
Right.
All right,
and we
so-
know that because we've been following.
Right,
the
exactly. So just use caution with A. Which Tanaka has the drive?
Since it's Stumpy's mission, I assume he has it.
Makes sense.
that would make sense. Yeah.
Because, like, if it leaves the ship with him, then we have an excuse to replace it.
Or that we essentially set him up as a fall guy. We, the data comes in, like, right, or he comes out,
Mhm.
he comes onto the facility, he sets it up, and then, as far as, we essentially frame him to make it look like he sabotaged the data. And then the Tanaka's B and C back us up against him, and it essentially frames him as someone who was working with GSS the whole time, or was
Sympathizer.
yeah.
Okay.
This could work.
Yeah.
And then still having this plan of having a backup drive with an aerosol release,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's something that we can replace once.
We give that to B or C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also with that hard drive, this oddly larger hard drive that has an aerosol thing in it, I'd also like to put in some kind of try to write a program to not allow the data to be lifted or transferred, or to be able to remotely destroy the data. So that way,
A kill switch.
yeah, and then that way it still serves our purpose of not letting Tanaka have it.
Yeah, or maybe so we set up the drive so that it doesn't actually have the data they think on they does on it.
Yeah.
Or
Or it has like some
view,
parts, but like they've been it's.
or they
it's
can
partial.
view it, but they can't. Or if they transfer it, it
So what if
changes or something.
what if this data drive has not one but two viruses on it? One's aerosol, the other destroys their systems.
Oh my
Very
goodness
good, yeah.
gracious! We're turning this thing into
Yeah,
a kill
that's
machine.
I like that.
One's an actual virus and one's a computer virus.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Just Inspector Gadget. This message will self-destruct after
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Oh, that's Mission Impossible.
That's right.
Both. Yeah.
Was it
Inspector Gadget.
Inspector
No,
Gadget
it
was
was-
riffing on Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible was a television show from like
Oh,
the
that's-
70s.
Yeah.
80s. 80s? I
Uh-oh.
think it was the 80s.
Yeah.
The tubes will tell us.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. So what do we want to do for Tanaka?
That's what I was asking. Like, what do we want to get? How much more do we want to get from him? Is that what you meant?
1973.
Well, the Stumpy, like we
Which
got to
version?
arrange an accent.
Huh?
So maybe it's
Wow.
in the cargo bay, and then that one door suffers another malfunction, and out he goes.
Do we want him to get sucked out of a tiny little hole? Through.
Well, I mean, the size of the hole doesn't matter so long as he's on the other side of it.
So we'll have to disconnect his communication system.
Yeah, we don't want him necessarily riffing to A because we don't know A's loyalties.
And Sam, you're going to be the one to do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little control room that overlooks the cargo bay
He
where
did
you can
call it.
remotely
He
control
did.
the doors. And Sam's just going to be sitting up there in the dark, steepling his fingers until the person is in the right place.
I want to try to get some kind of. Is there like gear on board to like to have like magnetic seal boots or something so I can be in the. I've got an idea to be in the cargo bay with Tanaka Stumpy, codename Stumpy, and then if I have like magnet boots or whatever, then he can get sucked out and I'll be able to stay in the
I was
cabin.
saying I could do
yeah,
that.
no,
I was thinking I could do that with my crew too, to cause like with the beautiful feet, like to get him out there, because you gotta find a reason to get him out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, there are tags. Hold on, I'm looking them up.
I could think even like just talking to him about like the data. And
Well, do you have access to their internal messaging system, right? Could perhaps you spoof a message from A saying that he needs to come meet him in the cargo bay?
So he has access to it.
Mhm.
So to hack into it would require another roll to do so.
And do we wanna blow that?
I want to run and risk it, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather try to like have some other communication with him and talk about how we have to meet in a place that that's remote, like in going to the cargo bay, in the state that it's in. None of the other crew is going to be there. That I have information about that, and then I want to be able to have. I want to be able to record a message from B and C to show him, to basically let him know that he's been betrayed, or like if they would be willing to, have send him a message or like give him a message to play to him, even if it's in an innocuous enough way that if other people were to see it, they'd be like, okay, like they don't know the context of it, but given this situation, like he knows that like he's getting played out, and yeah.
Or maybe, okay, here's an idea. Here, the pitch is, we have a creative equipment that we've collected from the GSS over the past few encounters while you're in stasis, and we need to know if any of that equipment is relevant to the mission if you want to have it.
Okay.
Because that,
And
I
so
feel like
then
that's something you
You're
might
gonna
actually
you're gonna have
want to go look.
B or C relay that to him, or are you just gonna go up and tell him?
Or maybe San could do that because he's got actual people skills.
Yeah.
And what I was saying before is I want B or C, maybe both of them, to basically create a farewell message for Stumpy to basically know that like he's being crossed, he's being cut out, they're cashing in on this deal.
Oh, they already have that prepared.
Okay. And I want to be able to play that for him.
You're like spitballing it. It's like, what if? Just as an idea. And like, here you go.
Would you like this one, or this one? Which one works? Yeah.
Do you want mournful?
Okay, so awesome. Operation Get Stumpy is a go.
So what exactly is San telling Stumpy again?
So we've got a crate of GSS equipment that we've covered over the past few encounters with them, and is there anything that's relevant to
That he
his
wants, basically.
information gathering mission if he wants it?
So we basically got a crate of good stuff from the GSS. Is there anything you want from it?
Mm-hmm. And
Well, how
inside
about-
it's just a video screen that plays the message.
Hold on. I'm not sure this is... That's
that
not
would be
quite...
cool.
Like,
Yeah,
why would we be
that's
giving him this?
cinematic right
Why don't
there.
we say... Why don't we say this? We think it's got like a lot of like locks on it, but like you're a Tanaka, so you might be able to disable them. If you could do so, we'll give you a cut of whatever the...
And we're pushing him out anyway, so it's not like...
Well, my point is we want
Yeah,
to
he
make it
could
seem like we're
promise him
not
his
we're
vote.
craven and not like generous, because
Yeah.
why would he believe
Yeah, I
us?
think giving him a cut would be a little more... I think we'll play into what...
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Okay, so Tanaka's eating lunch down in the mess hall.
Good afternoon. How's the lunch?
What? Oh, I thought you were that fucking doctor again.
Yeah.
The
Just good
finger
old Sam.
steepling intensifies.
Just good old Sam Holo. You've seen the movies, right?
No.
He's seething inside now. Anyway, so I came down here to have a little conversation with you. Tanaka, you like money, correct?
I like... Sure.
Well, we have this lovely crate that we have that we've collected from the GSS. However, we're unable to get it open. I was thinking maybe if you were able to assist with that, get you a little extra of the cut.
It seems to me, since it's my mission, I would just own the whole thing. Since I'm paying you.
Could be, but are you the one that collected this crate?
Well, I'm the one that hired you to collect the crate. So it's my crate, really.
How about this? How about instead of paying us the amount you said you were going to pay us, you deduct 20%. Save yourself 20% of the money.
20%?
Yes, and in exchange we get what's inside the crate.
But I don't think you follow. What is inside the crate is mine. Whatever it is. What kind of crate is it?
I don't know. Haven't opened it.
There must be some markings or...
Do I look like somebody that pays attention to markings?
Clearly
I'm a movie star. Do I look at markings? No.
Roll plus influence, please.
Let's see what influence is.
Oh, you go.
I'm just gonna see what my influence is. I don't remember. Influence. That's a 1. That is a 8.
An 8?
8.
He pushes back from the table he's sitting at. Fine, I'll come take a look at it. But it's still mine.
15% then.
No.
Fine. Whatever. Just come and look at it. It's out in the it's in the cargo bay.
Lead the way.
He leads the way.
I'm there with my magnetic boots.
Hmm?
I'm there with my magnetic boots, tugging on the locks convincingly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully convincingly.
Warren here he's the one that's, I'm just the middle person here. Warren here will be able to assist you with the markings and whatever.
Okay, so you're outside the cargo bay right now, and then, so you open the door and you lead him in?
And I'll lead him up to the crate. And
So do you actually have a crate?
I assume we have
Yeah,
one
So
shitty crate.
crate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a fair assumption.
we had to have a crate to hide the recording device in, but
All right. So
um,
Tanaka and Warren, along with your crew, are in the cargo bay.
I can
I
kind
can-
of tell you guys like we're all set from here. We'll be able to take it just because I don't know if they have like
Yeah.
magnetic gear too.
Yeah, so San will tell his crew to follow him, and they'll leave.
Okay. So they leave. It's you and Tanaka. Where is this thing?
It's over here, and I'll just lead him to the crate that's strategically positioned in front of one of the exits. Is it?
Patched over holes.
Yeah, one of the.
Yeah.
And I'll just gesture to the box that has the view screen in it with the recorded messages from the other two Tanaka.
Okay. What? No, this is. And he just books it for the exit.
I'll look
Sam
up
presses the button to open the cargo bay doors.
activate magnet boots.
Yeah.
So the cargo bay doors open, and atmosphere is expressed into space. As you see him go flying backwards into the void,
Nice.
his suit that he's wearing
Shit.
encapsulate him, and he is now floating in space, but he has his exosuit on.
Emero's going to open fire.
And San and his crew wouldn't
Just
have
bring
gone-
us about
Yeah.
spaceship laser to disintegrate him entirely.
So roll whatchamacallit?
Metal?
Yeah, we'll do. It's open fire. So yeah, roll plus metal.
Oh man.
That's an 11.
You fucking blast him out of existence. He was all happy for a second there. But now it's just.
I solved your puzzle. Oh shit!
Can I be recording this also to show to BNC?
Oh yeah, absolutely, sure.
Oh yeah, that's going in the gag reel.
And I'll check the clone net to make sure that all's quiet on that end. Okay.
How are you feeling, Sam? Good?
Yeah, that was very satisfying. Thank you
Yes,
guys.
the grin on your face is just lightening up the room.
Yeah, that guy was kind of a dick.
He did not have good things to say when I went to talk to him. He was very happy it wasn't you that came to talk to him.
Yeah, so I was very happy to, friggin' blow him out of my ship, so, yeah. Very nice.
I'd like to point out, just in the middle of what we're talking about here, that my trigger for this session so far is a conspiracy is uncovered. I did not think that the conspiracy that I would uncover
It would be yours.
would be ours.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Mine is a victim experiences true fear.
How's the ship's coming around?
Sweet.
Well, in order to meet my trigger, Sam's gonna go find a little of the bubbly. And we'll bring it to B and C with the good news.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you meet them down at the mess hall, and they partake in your festivities.
Like this is like the worst champagne ever. This is not good. This is not good champagne.
Sour, very sour faces.
Yeah.
I'm sure they keep some on hand just in case they've managed to successly betray one of their own.
No, they have cigars in their suit
Oh,
pockets.
yeah.
That's great.
But only B lights up. C doesn't.
Mm.
C's the serious one.
All right. So you've met with the Tanakas and shared a drink. So yeah, you in addition to the credits, you've agreed to an upgrade to your ship because as they spend time here, they've had a look around and they are most displeased.
So are we.
Yeah, yes. So that is why they agreed to an upgrade to your ship.
Cool. What upgrade do we want?
I don't know, but it
I'm
depends.
asking you.
What?
I wasn't asking you. I was asking.
Well, that's why I said I don't know. So you have a couple hours to decide what you want to add to your ship in return, and it's just going to be delivered as a car. They're not going to install it because you've relayed to them that you want to get the make the exchange and get the hell out of there. So it'll just be transferred onto your ship via cargo, and then the install will have to happen afterwards.
Okay.
All right.
Are we all prepared for the rest of the voyage to our destination, to the Tanaka?
So we've got the virus whipped up, yeah.
So which virus?
The physical one.
The physical,
The biological one.
the biological virus. So you have not rolled anything yet.
Okay.
So you need to roll plus expertise.
Okay.
And to see how you fare in. So I want you to roll first plus expertise for the selection of which synthesized version is the correct one, and then roll plus expertise for the delivery mechanism that you're doing, and you guys can help out as you feel free if you ask for it.
You're the expertise guy.
Yeah. If you need help, I'll help out.
Yeah. I might need extra eyes on there. Alright. That's an 8.
An 8.
I'm helping out. Whoa, big bug.
What?
Stink bug.
Just
Does anyone have any ethical qualms beforehand?
No.
it stinks though, so don't.
I've never
If you
smelled
wrap
the
it
stink from a
up
stink
well
bug.
enough, it's not
Well, you
bad.
have to squish it and then it stinks.
Even squishing them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't go
Here.
sniffing their
Oh, here,
corpse,
I'll,
but
Yeah, there you go.
I'll roll before
Oh, you're gonna roll. I thought you were gonna get.
That's a 10.
Nice. So you're successful. You've successfully matched the synthesized compound with what was on the extracted data from the lab. Now roll for your mechanism of delivery. Going with aerosol and a similar sort of thumb drive, data drive. Okay.
Yep.
So.
alright. So delivery mechanism. Ew, that's a 6.
Okay.
Do I need to help out again?
Yes,
You do.
You absolutely do.
That's a 7.
Okay.
So mixed success for
So-
both of us then.
Okay. So you're the only way you can get this to work. It's not gonna look like the other drive that you have. It's gonna be way bigger because you can't just the delivery process is just too big to fit into the small size that the other one has. So it's clunky, and it would raise eyebrows.
Well, I mean, they know what kind of equipment we're dealing with on the ship. I mean, they can't be terribly surprised.
So.
Well, also, I guess Stumpy had it in his pocket when he got spaced, so we had to download it onto this other one, and that's the only one we had spare.
And, he wouldn't... He probably didn't show them what the other one looked like because he was jealously guarding it.
True.
For all the obvious reasons.
Okay.
So they
You
may
might
not...
notice this though.
It's just it's a steamer trunk with a USB port on it.
Yeah.
Here,
All
just
right.
plug your laptop into this rather than the other way around.
That'd be awesome.
So you guys are a couple hours out.
I need to whip up my virus too.
Which
Jeez.
The one to the
The digital one.
yeah.
Yes. Yep. All right. So roll plus expertise.
Not interface?
All the viruses.
Okay.
No expertise. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
6.
Ooh.
Come on, Mr. Saves the Day.
I take it that was Mistress saves the day,
Oh
right?
yes.
Only girl on this ship. That's 9.
There you go.
You created this virus. So how does it trigger?
when they attempt to transfer the data.
Okay. All right. For all appearances, it appears to you run it through some simulations. It appears to work, and you load it onto the drive. So you guys are good to go. Any last minute preparations before you drop out and approach the planet?
Do we want to decide what we want to get first?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we'll want that waiting on the landing pad for
Okay.
us.
So they can,
My suggestion's a point defense system.
I was
Yes, we
going to
could
say
show
the
it- we could
exact
show it
same
at a
thing.
lot, so
Yes.
Yeah. So everybody agrees on point
Yes.
defense system?
Yes.
that was easy.
And we also have to tell the Tanakas about our little make sure we don't get murdered when we fly
Yes.
off.
Right.
Sam would like some fresh donuts.
Well, actually, I've got some yeast-like cultures left over from what I was working on. You know, that might work.
The biological.
They're inert!
No, I think we'll pass on those. But next time we get some real food, maybe some fresh donuts. A little cinnamon.
Oh, you should have been
sugar.
here last time. I smuggled some fresh produce on for Sam. Or for Sam.
Yep.
Stupid roofie.
Yeah, it was lovely salad.
Damn fanboys. No offense, Chris. No offense.
Hey. That was
Hi!
yeah, exactly. Fanboys like.
No, you wouldn't roofie me.
Yeah.
I'm talking about those ones. Creepy ones.
The kind that roofie you.
Yes. Yes.
Alright, so, do we want... Yeah, we need to tell B and C about the failsafe we've got to make sure we leave alive. Because deterrence doesn't work without...
How do you start that conversation?
So funny thing, huh? No, yeah.
So who's
Not ever.
So Sam doesn't mind doing it.
Okay.
Although he's, not super personable, so...
I think Sam will go with him just to help, just in case.
So, we're getting close now. We're going to be touching down in the next couple hours.
Indeed.
I can join them too.
Yeah. So there's one little wrinkle we need to discuss.
What's that?
This has been a very clandestine mission. And the data you have, you don't want other people to know you have it. And also, we kind of murdered one of your compatriots for you. So, it seems to me that a really efficient way to tie up those loose ends would be to kill us as soon as we deliver you. And we just want to make sure you don't think that's a good idea.
And how do you propose you do that?
Well, the data you have there, part of its value rests in people not knowing you have it and other people not having it. So we arranged a little failsafe where if we don't contact a specific server on the SpaceNet at a specific time, it transmits all the data and all the details of this mission and the part where, that little recording you made for Stumpy. It'll transmit all of that. We have no reason to ever let that happen if we're still alive.
So Tanaka B looks intensely pissed off for like a brief second.
Mm-hmm.
And then he calm washes over him and he raises his hands and says, very well. No problems here.
Do you gotta go make some calls to change the way we were gonna be received?
No
Okay.
calls.
I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. We thought this was a really nice deterrent, but deterrents don't work if you don't know about them. So, all cards on the table.
So you on your little display on your wrist, you see like the clone messages start flying, like stop, cancel.
My eyes widen infinitesimally.
So yeah, he nods his head respectfully and says,
We hope you will keep us in mind for any future business. I know we have a good working relationship.
"We definitely call you. Thank you."
That's great.
Yeah.
That's basically what I was thinking about too, and about adding it's like trust is a hard thing when you basically convince us to kill one of your clones to, but they seem to agree.
I think they respect our chutzpah here.
Mm-hmm.
And we do kind of have by the balls now, so it's good.
I think as being a type person, his son is gonna tell one of his crew, probably Duke, to kind of maybe like stick around a little bit in an unnoticeable way, just to see if what they talk about, just see if they try and pull some other fast one.
Okay.
I mean, isn't that what we have?
Well, they can talk like normal people too. So
People do that.
I guess.
Yeah, so
Sometimes.
Sam's gonna have Duke kind of just stealthily kind of stick around just within the earshot,
Yeah.
just kind of overhear and report back if there's anything that seems amiss.
Okay. Sounds good.
Also use the crew.
So Emma up on the bridge has communicated to all of you that you are about to drop out of whatever you call it.
Jump.
Light speed warp,
No, light speed.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And a planet comes into view. Yeah. It as you descend through the atmosphere, you see that it's very industrialized. Skyscrapers on top of skyscrapers on top of skyscrapers. You're landing nowhere near the surface. It's huge. It's
Like a floating helipad sort of thing.
It's not floating because it's built on buildings
like a
of the
700
past.
floors
It's
skyscraper.
like,
Yeah.
it's like 2 miles high, and you know from these like administrative Tanaka worlds that below is populated by normal humans that carry out the menial work of running the subsidiaries of Tanaka Industries, pushing papers and all that, and the Tanaka that sort of run those different corporations are living in luxury at the on the top of those buildings at the expense of others. And these guys that work for them are sort of given basic pay just to, like, they can't get out of it. They're stuck there, so they get paid just enough for food, just enough for living, but there's no way that they could pay their way off planet.
So kind of what we were talking about like regional, like maybe they're not even paid in credits. Maybe they're just paid in like Tanaka company. Company script, good for use at Tanaka grocery stores and Tanaka post offices, and
so being someone of not so much wealth, you're promised this life of we'll pay you or pay your way. You can earn your way up in the company, and certainly at the top of these skyscrapers, there are people who have made their way not to the top, but close to it, and. So all those people down below are aspiring in Tanaka fashion to get to the top, but also knowing that there's no realistic way they're ever gonna make their way off planet. So yeah, you land on the roof of one of these massive skyscrapers, and as you land, the sun is setting, and you look about. You walk off your ship and look over the edge, and about 300 feet below you is this sort of overcast layer of clouds you can't even see below you.
This is very impressive. I don't know about you guys. I'm impressed.
I'm just thinking about all the people who will be bleeding out of their eyes and ears, and after a few days from this aerosol below the cloud layer.
Well, they play with fire. gonna get burned. That's not on us. Sort of.
So, yeah, Tanaka's B, C, and A. Little cats B, C, and A.
I totally picked up there.
Yeah. Walk you into the sort of not reception area, but a just I guess a reception area off the landing pad at the roof, and
Is the point defense system like crates?
And I'm bringing scanning gear too to check out that stuff.
Are they waiting for us?
yes, yep. There's they're not Tanaka, but they're Tanaka Corp. Employees are waiting to load your cargo onto the ship, and as you make your way inside, they're taking instructions from whoever's giving them instructions, probably one of your crew, onto the cargo
I
pad.
wanted to scan it before,
Okay.
just to make sure that. I mean,
Nothing.
it's unlikely that they're gonna have like bombs and stuff on there because they would know that if they blew us up, then they would be ruining the data that they would be getting. But just to make sure there are no like tracking devices or things like that,
Or
weapons.
scrub our data.
Yeah, so roll to detect any sort of subterfuge or tracking or whatever.
What stat do you want me to add that to?
Let's go with interface. Let's go with interface.
Good call. 7.
Okay.
Good thing it was interface.
Yeah.
So you do notice something on your scans. You can't tell what it is, but it's small, and it's sort of pinging out a signal, but you can't tell what it is.
Are there multiple crates, or is there just one? Is it just one big container?
It's just one big container.
I'll kind of look at these guys. I'm obviously scanning it, so I'll just say that I found something.
Okay.
San will instruct the three of his crew to help Warren
Okay.
look for it.
Yeah, so as your crew and Warren are going over the crate, you notice sort of inside and behind. So this cargo crate is sort of insulated, and behind one of the metal walls of it, you can see it's been sort of sealed up again, welded shut, and you guys crack it open up, and there's a sublight tracking device under there.
Okay.
It's just beeping away.
So we take off and then just drop it out as we take off.
Or break it, or whatever works.
Yeah, just sort of fling it off into space as we're flying away.
All right.
We don't have another spaceship to conveniently attach it to, though.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
A few of these things are going to be like the headline moves in the Outrageous Fortune playbook.
Yes, yes.
Attach tracking device to another ship.
Waste waste villains' resources.
All right. So you're gonna catch up with the rest of the crew,
Yeah.
because as you guys made it in, B and C said, "Well, please wait here." So as you're waiting around, you just look on the walls, and there's just the same old Tanaka portrait after Tanaka portrait after Tanaka portrait. No, you missed that. So,
A lot of Tanaka portraits.
huh?
A lot of Tanaka portraits.
Well, you have the CEO, the director of operations, the chief finance officer, and they're just all the same Tanaka.
The whole
They're all
chain of
clones.
command board, except it's all
Right.
the same
Yeah.
picture.
And flanked on either end are the Tanaka Corp flag and insignia. So they come back out, and they lead you into the boardroom, and they introduce you to Tanaka, and they say, "Oh, here are the individuals that helped us procure this this data from GSS."
So is this the Tanaka?
What? No. They're just more.
This is
More
Tanaka.
Tanaka.
Just
It's
another
Tanaka. It's not
Tanaka.
Tanaka.
Not
It's
the
Tanaka.
Tanaka.
very nice to make your acquaintance, sir. This was a very difficult mission, but we're glad we came through in the end.
Does he still have access
Two.
to clone messenger?
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on it as I catch up with these guys.
Yeah, nothing's going crazy right now.
Just see if they scramble a security team.
And so he has the new
The
drive.
fat drive.
The fatty that you hand over.
Trojan horse squared.
Yeah. Says, what is that?
Well, we had to improvise. We were running short on, computer supplies. We don't have the nice things like you do. But the data's all there.
Oh, sorry. Emma's going to stay on the ship, as we've kind of developed.
San will be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have seen our ship, correct? It's a POS, the latest model.
Yes, that's why we supplied you with the requested equipment.
Hence the large. Yes.
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 Understood.
Yes.
So, he just Tanaka looks at Tanaka B and says, "So this data has been verified, correct?" And he says, "Oh, yes, it has. Before we left the planet, it was verified. It is indeed plans as described." He says, "Oh, very good, very good." And B looks at you and says, "Credits will be transferred to your accounts. How did you want that?"
Well, just the corporate account for the ship. It's an LLC.
Okay. He types a few things on his data pad, and
Do we receive a ping from the bank?
Yeah, you receive a notification that funds have been deposited.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yes.
Oh yes, that's an appreciable number of zeros. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Pleasure doing business with you.
Indeed.
Paid in full in Tanaka loonies or whatever their currency.
No, we're from off-world.
T-bucks.
They actually have to give us real
Yeah,
credits.
T-bucks.
yeah. Our bank doesn't take their funny money.
Alright.
$10.
So with that, they bow and say thank you for your business.
Thank you. We hope you keep us in mind for future endeavors.
Please do contact us again.
Absolutely.
Have a lovely day.
You as well.
Thank you. And we're gonna go back to our ship and
Take off.
get the
and
fuck
drop-
out of here.
Try not to look
and
like
dro-
we're fleeing from the
And
scene.
drop the tracker out at an appropriate time.
Okay.
Yeah, high orbit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty.
And
So
yeah.
you make your way out,
The most uneventful.
and
no.
You just jinxed us, yeah.
so as you guys are departing, lifting off the roof of the skyscraper, we cut to the boardroom, and as B Tanaka and the other Tanaka are talking, that drive just starts smoking
Yeah, that's awesome.
and catches on fire. Starts sizzling up and melting into the table it's sitting on. And they look at each other and raise the alarm.
Well, that's too bad.
Mm-hmm. So as you're, well, it's not installed yet. The fence, yeah, it's not installed. So as you're departing, you see Tanaka security forces sort of fan out on the roof, but you're off and gone, and the small laser fire from their pistols aren't doing anything to your ship. What do you do?
I think maybe we want to call up BNC and say, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
As we race away.
They were shooting at us. That seems a reasonable response.
Are you using the communications, or are you using just regular old like hollow call or?
Yeah, I think we got their contact information.
We would appreciate the actual data that we paid you for.
What are you talking about? That was the verified drive.
There is no verified drive. It is in flames in front of me.
What the hell did you do with it?
Return immediately or be destroyed.
Perfect.
But
What
people right there, and they tried shooting at us. So that doesn't encourage us to return.
There's silence for a second. There's no more laser fire hitting your hull as you're flying away at the moment.
Alright,
Warp drive, quick.
so, quick plan. What are we gonna do?
How
We need a quick plan.
How fast can we install our new equipment? Any?
And how, do you think that
So you know that defense system,
Yeah.
it takes at least a day to interface with your system.
Okay, so that will not be helping us whatsoever.
how do you think that the biological weapon is also malfunctioned? Would survive a fire?
No, it
yeah.
would not.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
no.
So-
You know,
So the
you
data's
can't
gone,
really
but-
survive in anything north of, 50 degrees Celsius, so.
So our plan, you're saying, is shot to hell.
Yeah, this is not good. So,
If we go back, they will kill us. Simple as that.
well, no, we
Okay.
could just give them the info.
Do we have a cop? I don't know if I would have a copy of the same virus to prevent them from having the data.
Then
Well,
we
yeah,
could
you
just
developed
give
it.
them the info. I mean, they did pay for it at this point. That was a pretty good show of good faith on their part.
Yes, but if we just give them the data now, they're going to look at what we just did and probably not be
And
too happy about it.
You're forgetting that Tanaka's a bunch of maniacs who are gonna use this in the same way that we didn't want GSS to use.
Yes, that too.
There is another alternative, and Emra just kind of pinches to the bridge of her nose, and like she's clearly regretting what she's about to say. We could attempt a wild jump.
Yeah, that was going to be my idea if we weren't going to give it to them.
So if we do that, aren't we going to be on the run from Tanaka?
Yeah, pretty much permanently.
Yeah.
GSS.
Ends in GSS.
I've got a plan for that too. Like I was planning on contacting the GSS. That was my original mission to infiltrate this group, was to stop the data transfer. So I was planning on telling them that the data's been destroyed.
Did we see any ships in orbit, like any Tanaka defense cruisers or anything?
You know that they have a satellite defense system. So right now you guys are cruising sort of low level.
Low orbit or?
No, like low level.
In the atmosphere.
Yeah, sort
Oh,
of.
we could
yeah,
do
we're
it.
only like a couple miles up.
in between tops of skyscrapers.
Yes, we couldn't do a wild jump.
We couldn't do a wild jump anyway then. Not.
In Atmo wild jump, that would be great.
No. I mean, there's rules about this, and you can't do them. It says specifically wild jumps cannot be made within planetary atmospheres.
So, how about this? We transmit to them that our systems are showing this landing struts were damaged by their idiot security team shooting at us. So we can't come back to land, but we'll dock with the ship in high orbit.
That'll buy us some time.
That'll buy us time.
To rig
Why
up.
are you not coming back? You are still flying away.
Well, yeah, we was going to turn around, but then we get a maintenance report from our system saying that our landing struts are all shot to hell. I'm guessing it was those idiots you sent out on the landing pad to shoot at us, rather than saying, hey, there was a little problem with the data, can we get another copy? Like big boys.
Roll plus influence, please.
Oh, man.
For some reason, Sam is talking. I don't know why.
Because you can't get him to shut up! Jesus Christ, that was a 4.
Actually, I think in this case, San would try and help out.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me? Let me get this straight. You drop off
That's
data.
7.
You drop off data.
Do
We
you-
pay you.
Do you have nothing on
The
it?
data
Oh,
gets
influence.
destroyed, and you start flying away. And I'm supposed to believe.
We were flying away because the job was done.
Right, you destroyed the shit that you gave to us. So
We destroyed it. What condition was it in when we left?
I don't know how you did it.
You're paranoid, man. What's wrong with you?
May I interject? Of course, like I had mentioned before, you see the status of our ships. POS, as I call it. What you had was just like what we have up here, the POS. It was a simple
I'm
malfunction.
sorry. Who are you?
You don't recognize San Holo. Nothing? No? The movies?
They're just
No?
not interested in anybody who isn't named Tanaka.
It was rated number 3 on Tanaka's top 10 list. How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
Can you come back, please, and give us what we paid you for, or we're gonna kill you?
He tried to tell you your idiots shot our landing gear. If you could provide us a different
So,
way
yeah,
of
yeah.
landing.
We will rendezvous with any ship you want in high orbit. We transfer a new data drive over.
He confers with his Tanaka friend, and he agrees because he knows there's no way for you to escape orbit without being
With the satellite, with the
Cool.
satellite defense.
blown out of the sky. So he gives you coordinates to a cruiser on the other side of the planet to meet up and dock with.
So this,
Sam, I don't suppose Cindy left any personal effects?
No, she was traveling pretty light, and
Because it occurs to me that there was some way by which she was able to call in the star mines.
yeah, I assume that was just some code she had, and she used our systems.
Warren?
she was traveling a lot lighter in 0G.
Oh, with the sick burns on one of my oldest friends. You know, maybe watch it a little bit.
Given your intimate understanding of the ship's systems, I don't suppose you could quickly attempt to find a similar code buried in the transmittal networks?
To call the star mines in?
Yes, I think we could certainly use a distraction, and from how Cindy described her reluctance to allow any of the factions to get the material, I think that they would be well versed in preventing another potential deposit.
That would be okay for the moment, but then we would still be on the run for Tanaka. Let's.
Well, not necessarily. If they come
So are
in,
you going to comply or what?
So we're heading up into low orbit,
Okay.
and so we've got to at least start angling our ship like we're going towards the cruiser.
Okay.
So are we down with the wild jump plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
You have to get one.
Yes, we're done with it. You make a compelling
do
case.
do we want to fuck with them a little before we go?
Obviously.
How about we just transmit the little message B and C gave to Stumpy?
That would be. Oh man, that's perfect. And then the footage of him getting sucked out of the airlock. We can
Make it look, doctor it to make it look like PNC did it and they were behind everything.
No, I think
or just scrub out or like truncate off the last few seconds where we lit him up with a laser maybe. But.
just
Okay.
Transmit to all the other Tanakas. Maybe just broadcast it onto like the clone
The Tanaka net,
messenger.
yeah, that would be awesome.
So you transmit that now?
yeah.
Okay. So the hollow you have of Tanaka B is sort of negotiating with you of where we're going to make this connection. He just so the hollow is just sort of this blue representation, stick your hand through it, but but his head just goes like digital against the side of the screen. It just goes away, and what's left is this sort of hollow neck.
Mm-hmm.
And another Tanaka steps into frame and says, "So you're not going to make good on your promise?"
Well, you know, this whole thing has just been really bad, so sorry. Yeah.
It's your own fault, though.
So as you're talking, set the
We're
sort
spooling
of-
up to make a wild jump.
Yeah, exactly. Like the alarms on the bridge start going off when you're being targeted by multiple satellite weapons platforms.
Yep.
And they start shooting, and
Wild jump.
okay.
We're all buckled in, holding on to our asses.
2d6.
Don't make me roll. It's been real bad tonight, guys.
Let's let the pilot roll.
Emma's piloting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Emma, that's up to you.
No pressure.
No,
Man,
yeah,
do
right.
I wish this was Monster of the Week rolls. I could use a luck point. Oh no, that's a 4!
Oh shit.
Would San be able to help since he's been off the roofies for a while and he was
Alright.
piloting?
Wild jumps are exceptionally unsafe. While jumping directly to the destination despite the navigation, warp, and gravity of planets and stars. They are reckless, dangerous, and unpredictable maneuvers, and sometimes they are necessary. Starting a wild jump takes up all the vessel's power output, with barely any left over for life support. In the moments before a wild jump, the starship is briefly defenseless and very vulnerable. Everyone suffers from some form of physiological and psychological problems when experiencing a wild jump. Well-controlled jumps produce very mild effects, nausea, headaches, and the like. Rough jumps can cause pronounced debilities like synesthesia, hallucinations, and illness. Some travelers came to experience disorientated, distorted, nonsensical horrorscapes during a particularly awful jump. Others come out of these jumps with disfiguring injuries or mutations. Some lose their minds in the jumpscape. Others simply don't come back at all. And then there are rumors of beings, terrors, living in the null space between jumps. Tall tales and hearsay, surely.
So you didn't answer my question. Can San help?
No.
No.
No, so on a 6 or less, the GM will describe the ugly, debilitating, terrifying consequences. It's full of stars.
We wild jump into a star. We all get incinerated. The end. Campaign over, guys.
So,
It's just gonna be like Event Horizon.
Oh no.
The outrageous fortune is now haunted.
yeah, so, well, it's 10:30 now, so we'll just stop there. And,
Oh.
Yeah.
On a cliffhanger.
yeah, stop on a cliffhanger. And if we pick it up again. So,